name is Joe Eadie. I'm one of the first tee coaches here, also the head golf coach at Springfield College. I was born in Negro Beach, Jamaica. I don't remember a lot about my childhood because I came to the United States pretty young. I think I was about 10, maybe 11. Came, my mom was a migrant worker. And she wanted to get us all here for a better life, land of opportunity. And she was a single parent because my father had passed away when I was a kid. And she brought us here, and she instilled hard work. That's one of the things that she instilled in all of her 4 kids was hard work. Moved to the United States probably 8 or 10 maybe. Came directly to Springfield. My mom at the time used to work at a tire company in Chicopee, Uniroyal. And she was here for a couple of years before we came up. It was a big change, but it wasn't a big change because I had all my brothers and sisters around, so it was kind of easy to adapt to it. We just had to get used to the school systems and stuff. It wasn't that hard because I was around my parents, my mom, so it wasn't that hard. My mom was mom and dad. She was strict one moment and pretty relaxed in the next. I think she's a pretty good parent. I worked as my second job out of high school was a machine operator. And the machine shop I worked in, we used to refinish the club heads for Spaldings. And one day a friend of mine said to me, if we're gonna make the clubs or put them together, let's learn how to hit them. So we decided to come to Fenway to learn how to hit the balls. And that's how we got started, you know. I wouldn't say I was pretty good. I learned how to hit the ball fast. I mean, very fast. Within a summer, I was hitting the ball solid. I didn't know where it was going, like most golfers, but I was determined in learning, so I took lessons and, you know, just kept on going from there, you know what I mean? There was a gentleman at that time in Springfield that took all the kids that wanted to play golf, Al Stafford, and another gentleman was Willie Wallace. He would always get the inner city kids together and bring him. So I kind of like hooked on to those guys, Al Stafford and Willie Wallace. And from there, then I started taking private lessons. One of my first lessons was the pro at veterans at that time was Danny DeRico, who Danny at one point was the golf coach at Springfield College also, right before I took over. He was the person that turned that job over to me. It was a funny thing that happened. I got hurt working at the machine shop, and I had to take about 6 months out of work. And the gentleman that owns this facility at Fenway, Bob Fiss, said to me, "You're here every day messing around with the golf balls. Why don't you just get a job here at the golf course until you're ready to get back to work?" And I said, okay. So the more I hung around here, it's the more opportunity I had to play the game and to hit golf balls. And I just got closer and closer to it, the game. I was here working, picking up the range, cleaning, washing the golf balls and stuff. And at that time, they had a union youth clinic that we used to do out of here. And the owner asked me, would I help them to basically help with the ladies' clinic. And I said, okay, I started doing that, and I think it was a big pivotal point because the ladies that went back to him and said, he explained the game to us pretty good. He should, press on to doing it. And the owner at that point, Bob Fisk, said, maybe you should be involved in the golf a little bit more than just playing. And it led from me started into got into the PGA program at that point. And it also led to Bob Fisk calling Ed Billick, which is the AD at Springfield College at the point when Danny DeRico was going to leave that job, and say, here's someone that I think might be a good fit for the program at Springfield. And between here and Springfield, that's where it all kind of like, got started, put it together. That was probably one of the most nerve-wracking thing that ever happened to me, because at that time, I was 29 years old. I was playing golf for maybe 8 or 9 years, and I didn't have any college experience. I didn't have any coaching experience, but I was good at teaching the game at that point. I think most people say my strength in coaching and teaching is my patience. So I went in not thinking that I knew everything, but was willing to learn from the kids also. And it was, I think the kids helped me more than I helped them, because, if you listen long enough in life, you learn a lot. Sometimes it's best to just listen to what people have to say, and you can get a lot out of it. So it was both ways. That's probably one of the things that I'm most proud of, being a college coach, is how many kids that I have touched over the years, and not me just saying that, they have called me that have actually entered into the golf business or is somewhat to do with the golf business. I stay in touch with a lot of them, and because golf is one of the sports where you can actually still play with those students, every single year I've had a group of kids that would get back in touch with me and still challenge me, playing against me. And I just admire that about the game, But my thing is affecting people's lives the way how other people affect mine in a positive manner, Yeah, the first tee, it started where the Mass Golf Association at that time probably was maybe about 15, 20 years ago. Wanted to do a program, kind of like a clinic for the kids, the inner city kids. And they contacted us here at Fenway, and we started a program over at one of the golf courses. And at that time, they decided that the program kind of took off pretty good. Then they wanted us to do it in the school systems. And they decided that they wanted to do it here at the golf course permanent. And we just made that connection, and we haven't stopped since. I really enjoy working with the First Tee because of the people that I work with or work for in Boston. And they make it easy. They just set me up and say, whatever you need, go ahead and do it. And we teach anyone that wants to learn the game of golf, whether it's inner cities, whether it's suburbs, wherever. Whoever signs up and they want to show up, we'll teach them how to play the game of golf. My favorite part of First Tee is to see a kid come in at 7 years old, and I run into the kid 7 years or 8 years after that, and he's still playing the game. And he walks up to me and said, I remember the experience that I have, and that's what kept me doing it. That is great when a kid can say that to you. And just to see them mature from 7-year-olds all the way up to 10, 12, 14-year-olds in the game is very rewarding. It's priceless seeing them do it, To come from a place where golf was not big, it means a lot to me when I look back over 31 years at Springfield College and almost 35 years here at Fenway, what the game what the impact of the game have done for me. And I might not have gone on to play it on the PGA Tour, but the contacts that I have made over the past 35 years through those two jobs, it was just priceless. I mean, I've actually walked the same fairway in the same group as the President of the United States, George Bush, the father. And I've walked the fairways with many painters or carpenters, but it's been a joy. It's been a pleasure. It's been very fulfilling. Every day I feel blessed that I've accomplished what I've accomplished, and hopefully someday I can touch some other people's lives, some kids' life, that inspire them to do the same thing that I'm doing. It's been very rewarding for me. Very blessed. I think my mom would have been proud of me, no matter what. One of the things that my mom teaches is to be honest. And as long as I was being honest to myself and through life, I think my mom was going to be very proud of me. Didn't make a difference whether it was golf or anything else. As long as I was honest to myself and others, she was pretty good at that. Golf is not a very big sport in Jamaica. When I first started telling people I play golf, they're like, golf? It's kind of like a sport that was not big in the African American community. So it wasn't big until later on when Tiger and the rest of the other guys started, making it more popular. So, it wasn't a big draw. They're like, really, golf? Like, yeah, golf, yeah.